when somebody wants to say something, please raise your hand, and then I will ask you if you'll be so kind to present you, give your name, and just ask a brief question and say to whom it's addressed. But before we do that, I think there is a gentleman here from the Netherlands to whom I would like to give the mic. His name is Milos Boks, and I think he has a very interesting story to tell us. Boks, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for the opportunity also to speak here today in front of these MEPs and experts. Because as a student, I can tell you, the safety of our universities is being threatened due to the extremism of organizations like Samidoun. And I saw this myself at the Radboud University in the Dutch city of Nijmegen, where I study public administration. In October of last year, students and staff invited Mohammed Khatib, the European coordinator, to speak at our university. A man who glorifies the terror attacks of 7th of October and calls my Jewish and Israeli fellow students legitimate targets of violence. And when I delved into who this man is and explained this to my fellow students, I saw their righteous indignation on their faces. And that is why I wrote an open letter that same day, supported by dozens of students and staff, calling our university's board to do everything in their power to ban his visit. Our action led to national media coverage in the Netherlands and ultimately to an entry ban for Mohammed Khatib to our country, imposed by the Dutch Minister of Justice and Security. But it didn't stop there. Samidoun's toxic ideology had already taken hold. Shortly before Khatib's announced visit, an exposition on Gaza at our university displayed propaganda material from the PFLP. And this poison inspired students. And not much later, one of the organizing students said to one of my fellow students, and I quote, "I would be capable to cut off an Israeli student's head," end of quote. This is the danger of Samidoun. This is the result of tolerating extremism into our universities. And our action proved, if we stand up, we can enforce change. But this is not about one speaker or one university. This is about something much bigger. It's about our safety. The question is whether will we continue to allow extremists to spread their hate under the guise of freedom. And the only correct answer is no. Samidoun is not a peace movement, not a human rights organization. Samidoun celebrates terror, murder, rape, and hatred. It is a direct threat to our safety, and we must treat it that way. We cannot fight tolerance. We cannot fight intolerance with tolerance. Because as Karl Popper once said, tolerance for the intolerant will inevitably lead to the demise of tolerance itself. It's time to set clear boundaries, to stop being naive about defending our free values, here and now. Because if we don't, we let intolerance win, and we cannot afford to do that. And that is why I ask you, as a student of the next generation, stand up against extremism and ban organizations like Samidoun for our safety and the safety of my fellow students in the EU. I thank you for your time.
This shows us that a little bit of courage and a lot of goodwill will make a better world for all of us. So thank you so much, Milos, for what you did.